YouTube, this is your boy Jay the Barber B here. In this video right here is going to be a high taper on a wavy client who got waves going this way and that way. And then you got to go this way too, that way. Stay tuned to see what I do to it. YouTube, this is going to be a tutorial about how to do a high taper fade. First thing you want to do is you want to start off by combing the waves. You want to try to pick the waves up off the scalp so you can get a good clean cut. Alright, I'm going to take his hair down with a 1.5 guard. This was requested by the client. A lot of wavers already know what type of guard they want to use on their head. So pay attention to what you're doing. Go with the grain. If you go against the grain, it's a big mistake that you and the client is going to be able to see clearly. Take your time, look at each hair, go with the grain. On the crown of a waver, I like to go a half a step higher. So I'm going to use this 2 guard to go ahead and take care of the crown. In order to do that, well, the reason why I do that is because I want the crown to remain thicker than the rest of the hair. It's better to create waves in a circular pattern towards the center of his head. Alright, so how I start my high tapers is I make my first line of demarcation towards the first corner of his edge up and the top of the ear. Make sure you keep that comb in your hand at all times. You know how it is when you're fading, keep that brush and the comb in the hand and swipe twice and cut once or something like that. You get it? I like to do the same thing to the back of the neck also. That first line of demarcation, going straight across the back. Okay, the next thing I do is I open my blade all the way and I go ahead and create my second line of demarcation. Now it's time to take out this line. I take out this line using the 1 guard all the way open and try to keep it the same length as your open blade. Try to keep it the same width as you did with the open blade. Now it's time to start blending, trying to get that line up out of there. Play with your lever, do what you got to do to get it up out of there. Switch guards, make sure it's nice blend to it. It's going to be kind of hard to blend a waver, including somebody with the hair texture like his, because of this curl pattern by his neck created by his do-rag. So don't worry about trying to get it perfect as if you was to do a straight hair taper. Make sure it is nice and presentable. Alright, next is to take out all this weight right here underneath the head. In order for me to do that, I use the number 2 guard. Kind of use it open to try to get a lot of that weight out using the flicking motion. So I go across the head like that, close the lever down, try to get as much of that blend in as I go along. Sometimes I may pop the guard off, turn the clippers around. My thing is try to get that line right there, up out of there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to blend as much as I could. This is that area that's difficult, created by the do-rag line I was telling you about earlier. So let's get it, guys. Alright, so it's time for the temples. Same technique you used in the back. You open guard it up to a certain amount. I try to go at least a half an inch up to start the blend. If you got a beard, go ahead and tap the beard at the same time. This is what I do. I tap the beard at the same time. That way I can knock out two birds with one stone, starting that blend downwards and upwards. And the one guard open. Try to keep it the same distance as you did the first open blade. And take care of the beard at the same time. Get that blend upward and downwards. Now it's time to start the blending. It's not as hard as it is to do the back of the head. Just try to take that line out. Play with your guards. Change the guard, play with the lever till you get that line out. Using my number 2 guard once again to remove a lot of the weight from off the side of his head. From there, I blend downwards. Don't forget the beard. Blend upwards and downwards. I got two birds with one stone. From then, I switch down to the 1.5 guard. And just try to remove the heavy line created between the open 1 and the 2. Then you just play with your guards, play with the lever, get that line out. Now it's time for the lineup. How I like to do it is try to keep the line as natural as possible, especially around the back of the beard and the back of the ear, towards the back of the head. That grow back that comes from the back of the beard, if you don't try to stay natural, is ugly. So we're going to try to keep it as natural as possible. Make sure you keep that comb in hand. On the edge up, take your time. I like to start from the center, then move to my right, and then from the center, move to your left, but don't overthink it. If you overthink it, it's going to look crooked every time. Just take your time, just roll with the flow. Don't forget to use your mirrors. Your mirrors will tell you everything you need to see from afar. And don't forget to stay as natural as possible. Right here, I'm using a bit of hairspray to try to keep the hair in place, keep it firm. It makes it for a sharper image. This is what the customer likes, and this is what I like to do. Right here, I've taken all of the loose hairs from off the waves. I call it riding the waves. You take your clippers, you open the guard up, and you smoothly go across it without digging into the hair. It's a lot easier than it sounds. You set the back of the blade on top of the head,